Weekers, tweakers, thrill freaking seekers. This is another episode of freaking Our Week in Review. My name is freaking Taylor, the freaking Sandman Lofton, coming at you freaking live from freaking Our Week Studios in WAYO, LP freaking Rochester. We got in the freaking studio with me to my freaking left, Doug Jordan, formerly known as freaking Mike Doug Jordan, and coming all the way from Satellite New York via freaking Satellite freaking New York. We got freaking Sandy the Sandman freaking Farkas, and we got freaking Tadia freaking Risher. Welcome to Weekers, Tweakers, Thrill Seekers. Welcome to freaking Our Week in Review. Geez Louise, down on my knees. It's been a great freaking week. We got a great freaking show for you. We have stories about freaking Gloria Vanderbilt freaking dying. We got freaking OJ freaking Simpson getting a freaking Twitter account. We got freaking Donald Trump talking about UF freaking O's. And we got freaking Jennifer Aniston calling out freaking Brad Pitt. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are here today to talk to you. And geez Louise, how do you freaking do, Weekers and Tweakers? I think you know how we freaking do. Yeah, hard and freaking horny. Geez Louise, down on my knees. Gentlemen, start your freaking engines. This is freaking Our Week in Review. Let's start off, go a little roundtable panel discussion. Why don't we start off with some of the big news from the Our Week team. Mike Doug Jordan here with me in the freaking studio. How was your week? How do you do? And how freaking are you?
Yeah, thanks for having me again, especially after last week. Things for me have been looking up, been pretty good. I recently had to leave the gas station job that I was the manager at. So I got a new chapter in my life starting, and I'm super excited.
What'd you do? Why'd you get freaking fired from the?
Why'd you get fired?
Yeah, hang on a second.
Freaking playing with your freaking self again.
Yeah, let's freaking, before he answers this question, why don't we go around a little panel discussion between the three of us, Tadia Michael Richards, freaking Sandy the Sandman, freaking Farkas, and myself, freaking Taylor Lofton. We're going to decide why he got fired from his freaking job. Tadia Michael Richards, why don't you go ahead and start?
Well, probably from what I've been suggesting since the beginning of his employment there was that he was stealing food, particularly the potato chips at the gas station to test and review on his show, Doug Knows Best. So he's probably just been siphoning off all the potato chips at that gas station, and they finally just had enough.
Yeah. Man, well, Sandy, what do you think about that explanation? Does that fit with your freaking narrative?
In fact, it does freaking fit with my narrative, but I noticed you left out a whole freaking chunk of the freaking story, and that's where he got freaking caught freaking watching freaking porno, freaking at the freaking counter, freaking playing with himself, and playing with freaking Sunjay in the freaking bathroom.
Yes, and I agree with both of those things, but I think it's a little bit more nefarious than that. I believe that Doug brought in maybe a goat, maybe a chicken, maybe even a freaking cow to work, and the reason that he's stealing food is, yep, you guessed it, to keep that thing alive so he can keep jamming his little freaking Doug Jordan into its behind, and you know what I mean, having sex with freaking farm animals on the freaking job, generally frowned upon at gas stations across the United States, especially here in the great state of freaking Rochester, freaking New York. Mm-hmm. Doug Jordan, how close were we on a scale of 1 to 10?
You were very, very far off. I didn't even get fired. I actually quit to start a new job. I got offered a new job, and I quit the gas station. So, no, I wasn't stealing potato chips. No, I wasn't playing with myself at the counter. And no, I definitely, for the last freaking time, I was not having sex with any farm animals at work or outside of work.
Did you get a job at a freaking farm or something, or what made you resign from your position?
Well, I got offered a job at a regional seafood distributor, so I'm gonna be delivering seafood to all the restaurants in the Rochester area, and maybe even outside of that.
Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me you've moved on from farm animals to f***ing fish?
No, I'm definitely not f***ing fish, as you just put it, but I'm just delivering seafood. You know,
Doug, are you freaking telling me that you got a freaking job down at the freaking wharf?
It's not at the wharf directly. I'm distributing from the wharf, but yeah, I'll be working at the wharf.
Jeez Louise, bringing back some freaking memories right now.
some good freaking times down with you, me, and the rest of the freaking wharfmen down at the freaking Fisherman's Wharf, freaking Rochester, New York.
Yeah, and since everything went down the way that it did, are you going to be able to show up at the freaking gas station and hold your head high after they caught you having sex with Sanjay, a cow, while you are feeding the cow the chips that you stole? Is that going to be an option for you, or are you going to have to find a new place to gas up?
Yeah, I'm going to just say it again. None of that stuff that you guys said actually happened, and I'll be able to go back to the gas station. I left on pretty good terms. You know, they said, thank you so much. You turned this gas station around from what it was, and we'd be glad to have you back.
Doug, I'm going to freaking stop you right there. How do you even freaking fit your into a freaking fish?
Yeah, no, so I don't do that. So I'm just delivering freshly caught fish every day. So I'm not doing anything with my in the fish.
You just said freshly fish.
No, I did not say that.
That's what I freaking heard.
Okay, so your new job, you're a freaking fish wholesaler. What do you do? What is your daily routine going to be like? I imagine you get in early before anybody else is there so that you can have your pick of the prettiest and most voluptuous fish to deflower and have your freaking way with. After that, what do you do next?
Yeah, so I'm not going to be doing anything with touching the fish. What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say, does it get any better than that for a Doug Jordan at a wholesaler position? I mean, is the rest of the day downhill from there is what I guess I'm trying to freaking say.
Yeah, no, so I'm not going to be f***ing any fish. I can't stress that enough here. But I will be delivering seafood to all the restaurants in the Rochester, New York area.
I can't believe after the freaking shrimp debacle where you plan this whole festival and they didn't have enough seafood that suddenly you're in charge of all the seafood in the entire freaking region. This is a big blow to any seafood lover in the Rochester, New York area.
Yeah, that's true. You couldn't even order enough freaking shrimp for all of freaking Shrimp Cocktail Fest. And now you somehow position your way into being a geez Louise, down my freaking knees. A seafood freaking wholesaler.
Well, yeah, I mean, actually, the whole Shrimp Cocktail Festival is the reason why I got this job. You know, they said, thank you so much for bringing in so much great business. And I said, you know, it wasn't me. I was just a spokesperson. They said, well, we know you used to be a mailman, so we got the perfect job for you.
Sounds fishy.
Yeah. It certainly does. Weakers, tweakers, thrill seekers, but we don't mean to bore you with the drabs and dribbles of freaking Mike Doug Jordan's freaking life. But we do have something quite interesting, and that is an update from freaking Sandy the Sandman freaking Farkas. Sandy the Sandman Farkas dates a tiny little ugly and she tried to break up with him last week. He wasn't having any of that. He was going to string her along just a little while longer so that he could freaking pull the freaking wool over her eyes long enough to freaking dump her on her freaking tiny little behind. Sandy the Sandman freaking Farkas, how is it going? How are you? And how freaking are you?
Definitely freaking definitely freaking drunk. And I don't know if I mentioned that I'm freaking basically, I've got a little freaking, I can offer up a little freaking update for you. So, as you mentioned, I was stringing along my little girlfriend, lady friend. Now, I was about to do it. I was about to freaking cut freaking ties. I was about to freaking sever freaking ties and just be freaking done with it. But, unfortunately, I got my roommate freaking Dave to start freaking drinking again, and he's going through kind of a rough freaking time. So right in the middle of me about to freaking pull the freaking trigger, guess what? Freaking Dave comes in, completely freaking blackout, freaking drunk. He starts freaking crying, and she's there. She's trying to rub his freaking back, and she's still my freaking girlfriend, lady friend.
Wait, so are you telling us that you, Dave, and your freaking lady friend had a freaking drunk freaking alcoholic threesome, and when one of them was a freaking tiny little
You know, I'm blacked out pretty quick into his freaking blackout. So did we all freaking have sex with each other? Probably. Yeah, probably. If I had a freaking wager at guess,
yeah.
I'd say yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be the first time I freaking had sex with somebody you didn't completely remember.
Yeah.
Right, Doug?
Isn't that the freaking truth of it? Now, Geez Louise, down on my knees. It sounds like you and Dave are actually finally getting pretty freaking close. And I'd like to say I'm not freaking jealous, but I definitely am. And geez Louise, down on my knees. I mean, what can this freaking Dave guy do that I freaking can't? Obviously, he doesn't freaking host a freaking radio show, and he just lives with you. And he's and geez Louise, down on my knees. What's so great about Dave?
Dave is great at freaking fixing things. He's a freaking handyman, great with freaking tools. Also, now that he's drinking, freaking hilarious. Freaking love the guy. Freaking love the guy. He does. We are getting along freaking famously. And I'm a freaking huge fan of Dave, and hope he keeps freaking drinking. But hopefully he can freaking wrap his freaking issues up so that I have a freaking moment to freaking dump my freaking lady friend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I hope some way you're able to get rid of your lady friend and get rid of Dave at the same fell swoop. And geez Louise, down on my knees, best of luck to you. And how do you freaking do? Tadia Michael freaking Risher, Tadia freaking Risher, as we call him here on the show, has been living all over the place. He has been recently diagnosed with terminal freaking cancer, which has spread from, you guessed it, his freaking lungs down to the end of his freaking apple head. You were living in a freaking sex dungeon, seeking cure through the sexual enterprise that you were living at until you were kicked out because Doug Jordan was siphoning funds away from you and into the shrimp cocktail and basically into his sex fantasy vacation with Sunjay. And since the funds were not coming through, you were kicked out of the sex dungeon, and now you are living in a freaking sex-filled all men's freaking YMCA, Young Christians Men Association, if that's what you want to call it.
Yep. Been living at the YMCA, and for the most part, it's been great. Last few days haven't been the best, though, mostly, and I don't want to worry anybody, but I'm feeling a real big cancer flare-up, so that's not great. But really, the biggest thing that happened my week was, I had to use the bathroom, and number one, really quick, and all the bathrooms were taken at the YMCA. And, from past experience for me, I just kind of go on whoever's there. That's the way it worked in the sex dungeon. And I thought that worked in the YMCA because there's definitely as much or more sex happening in the YMCA than the sex dungeon. So I go in the first stall and I pee all over this guy whose name is Keith. And let me tell you, Keith did not take it too well. He threatened to fucking kill me is basically what he did. And so now I got this guy Keith, he's all over me, he's on my back, and I just gotta watch myself. So I've gone from living in pure cancer-filled ecstasy to blatant fear of a homeless man with a knife.
Yeah. So what is your plan? Obviously, the best thing to do in this situation, rather than freaking apologize, is freaking prank the freaking guy. And before he pranks you with a freaking deadly freaking weapon. What kind of prank do you pull on a guy to say, I'm sorry for peeing on you and please don't freaking stab me?
Yeah. Well, you know what? The one thing that I got going in my life right now is probably this cancer. So I'm probably just going to put something in his food and be like, you got freaking cancer. And that'll be hilarious. Tell him that I spread my cancer to him. Yeah.
And then maybe after he settles down and lives with the freaking cancer, he realizes that maybe you and him can bond over.
We're not so different. Him and I, just that I tend to pee wherever I want, and we both have cancer.
Yeah. Look, I'd like to just freaking unpack this just a little bit freaking further. So you freaking pee on a guy. Guy gets upset. The next move, the obvious next move is you gotta freaking prank the guy. The question then is, how do I freaking prank the guy? So the issue being that you freaking peed on the guy, now you gotta prank him. My answer's pretty obvious. You gotta freaking poop on the guy.
Yeah.
Sure.
He's gotta be in the freaking stall taking a poop. You gotta open the door and you gotta poop right on top of him.
I think what you need to do is be hiding out, perhaps in the drop ceiling above, and waiting for him to sit into the stall. At which point you crouch atop him and you let it drop from 9 feet, 10 feet, however high the ceilings are, into right on top of his freaking head. Maybe you said he's an older gentleman, maybe with his mouth open a little bit, and some of it gets in his freaking mouth. He tastes just a bit of it, just enough to know what it is that has befallen his head.
And then
by the time he freaking looks up, you're freaking gone. You've replaced the freaking tile with the drop ceiling, and you're freaking out of there. But
Right.
he might as well have seen you because he knows who freaking did it. There's only one person that freaking do it. It's freaking you.
Yeah.
and
also
then we
you
become
could,
friends.
And then and before that, you could also leave him a taunting note in poop on the freaking mirror of the bathroom. So when he goes to wash the poop off of his head in the sink, Jeez Louise, down on my knees, your freaking name is sitting there. TADDEA on the mirror.
Doug?
In actual shit. Yeah, Doug. Doug.
Any ideas?
Yeah. Doug, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that all these are really, really bad ideas. Maybe if you want to say you're sorry to him, maybe get him a gift like some new socks or something. I don't know. I just don't think taking a shit on a guy that you pissed on while he was shitting is gonna be friggin' happy that you took a shit on him.
Doug,
Doug, why are you using freaking language? What is going on here?
yeah, this is a freaking radio freaking show. This goes out to the freaking masses, and a lot of freaking young children listen to this freaking show because it's on from 3 to 4 in the afternoon.
I'm just using the language that you guys were using. I thought I thought this was the new format of the show.
Doug, why don't you give us your sports desk take on this situation and tell us what kind of repercussions should Tadia fear in the case that he doesn't get the poop prank off fast enough?
He's gonna freaking kill you probably if this guy's mad at you for peeing on him and then you go to freaking poop on him. I know if I got peed on and then I got freaking pooped on, I would freaking kill somebody. So I mean, maybe I don't know. I like I said, get him a gift. Maybe buy him a meal.
Doug, did you just say you'd freaking kill somebody?
If they freaking, I wouldn't kill anybody, but I'd be mad. I'd probably hurt him.
Excuse me, but that's something you freaking honestly feel like you're capable of is freaking killing.
That's what you're gonna do that to me after all the crazy crap that you guys all say. You're gonna say, oh, Doug said he's gonna kill somebody, so we're gonna cling on to that the whole freaking show. Is that what's gonna happen?
Doug.
You're insane right now, Doug.
Yeah, Doug. Let's
freaking psychotic behavior.
Let's take a quick room check, a room temperature. We'll temperature check of the freaking room, and let me ask you a question. When was the first time you started having these freaking thoughts about maybe killing somebody, maybe tying somebody up, leaving them in your basement, maybe putting them in a box underneath your bed and taking them out just to torture them a little bit? Is that something that pops through your freaking little screwed up little head often? And when did it start? And who put the ideas in your head to start?
Honestly, it probably happens every time we record this show.
So you admit to it.
See, now I'm starting to fear for my freaking life, Doug, because back in the day, all four of us used to be in the freaking studio together, sitting here basically putting up with your BS, and now I am here alone, all freaking by my lonesome, sitting here with you, and geez Louise, half of the time my freaking back's turned to you while I'm talking into the freaking microphone, and next thing I know, you could freaking pull out a freaking knife, try to prank me in the freaking back. And then I'd have to freaking squeeze out a freaking poop on top of you before you were able to freaking prank me to freaking death. Just so we could be freaking friends again. Weakers, tweakers, thrill seekers, thank you. This is a great freaking episode of Our Week in Review. Before we move on to our week's news and discussants, I do want to talk a little bit about my freaking week. And weakers and tweakers out there know that, yes, my cat Donovan, too, is still missing. He has been missing since I trimmed a freaking Hitler mustache atop his face, and he was basically stolen by the freaking veterinarian after, yep, you guessed it, he got a rash all over his freaking body. I have not been able to find hide nor hair of him, and I am looking for him just about anywhere, and this is my freaking last-ditch effort. Weakers, tweakers, if you see a freaking cat with a hilarious freaking Hitler mustache, please call 513-914-6201. That's our week freaking hotline. In the news, there was a couple of things I did want to mention. That first of all, the freaking dinosaurs beat the freaking Warriors. So that was basketball for you. And geez Louise, what a freaking match it was. First of all, in any movie that I've ever seen about freaking dinos, yeah, they always end up freaking winning. Starting with freaking Gojira all the way down to, yep, you guessed it, my favorite freaking movie, Jurassic Seed Park and Jurassic Seed Park 2, and basically more of the same. Doug Jordan, give us your little sports take on that one.
Well, yeah, so they're not called the dinosaurs; they're called the raptors. So the Toronto Raptors won the series, so they're the champions of the world.
Look, somebody's doing his freaking homework finally. Jesus, just in the nick of time. Once we stop doing the freaking sports desk and read a freaking article or watch a freaking basketball game.
Yeah. Yeah, where were you a freaking month ago with this?
Well, I mean, it's been in the news everywhere. The Raptors won. Honestly, I'm surprised you wrote the dinosaurs, even though you probably saw it said the Raptors.
Well, they got a picture of a dinosaur on there. They don't even have a picture of a freaking raptor. It's a freaking dinosaur.
Well,
so why would assume it was called a freaking dinosaur?
I mean, a raptor is a dinosaur.
No, it's not. Weakers, tweakers, thrill seekers. This is something that's been on my freaking mind, and I want to get it off my freaking chest. I read an article about a Pennsylvania man who went to freaking Pittsburgh to the Pittsburgh Pride Parade. And yep, you guessed it, that's gay pride we're freaking talking about. And he went with a freaking shirt that said "Free freaking Dad Hugs" on it, and he went around freaking hugging people. And it's been something I'd wanted to try, so I thought I'll give it a freaking shot. I put on my tattered freaking cut up freaking military officer's uniform with a handmade freaking sign over it, said "Free freaking Dad Hugs," and this officer's uniform I've been wearing is getting a little freaking worse for the freaking wear at this point. On Weakers and Tweakers, I haven't been able to freaking wash it because I don't have a freaking washing machine. And geez Louise, this old material, it's not made to be freaking soaked in freaking water. The bottom of it is a little cut up when I crawled through the broken glass window of the freaking veterinarian's office when I tried to break freaking Donovan out, who didn't actually happen to be there. And so I'm going around with this freaking sign on this weekend, "Free freaking Dad's Hugs," because I was so inspired by this article that I freaking read. And geez Louise, down on my freaking knees, I could barely get anybody to freaking hug me. It's freaking pathetic.
Did anybody give you any change or anything like that?
Yeah. I got a lot of freaking change. No hugs, though. But I did hug one person, and I believe that we ended up embracing for quite some time. It was a freaking another elderly man, an elderly freaking man, and geez Louise, down on my knees, I think he had a freaking erection. Stabbed me right in my freaking stomach.
Sounds like you freaking hugged a freaking homeless bum with a freaking boner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like you got dry humped.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. Maybe you talked about this when I was gone, but when you started wearing the uniform, and people would ask you, what war did you fight in? What did you do? What do you tell them usually?
That's a great freaking question, Doug. I started out with talking about freaking Vietnam because my favorite freaking movies are freaking Vietnam movies starring Rambo Johnson, and so I started talking about freaking Vietnam, and then I quickly moved on to freaking Iraq and freaking Afghanistan, and by the end of it, I was saying I was a freaking pilot in World War II. So I got the whole freaking gamut, and I've been at this point, see, Weakers and Tweakers, people out there need someone to look up to, and not all freaking heroes wear capes, but some of them do offer free freaking dad hugs, and some of them do wear freaking stolen military officers' uniforms and collect change on the freaking side of the freaking road before it.
Do you think that, maybe did anybody call anybody and say, hey, I got this guy here, I think he needs to go to a mental institution?
What are you talking about?
Just because you keep switching all your stories and stuff like that, and you look like you're homeless, and you got a sign that says "Free Dad Hugs," but you're not actually a dad.
I freaking smell terrible. This freaking outfit of mine is getting freaking pretty freaking rank. Nobody has called any sort of social worker, as I have. Weakers and Tweakers out there might know this. I am a freaking ward of this state, so I am protected by the freaking state. It's basically having states for parents. So I haven't gotten the award yet, but geez Louise, down on my knees, I guess it's supposed to be in the freaking mail.
I just think you need to stop wearing this freaking uniform.
It's the only thing that freaking fits me.
I mean, you can get other clothes that fit you. You go to the Salvation Army and get some clothes.
No. That's where I got this one at freaking Goodwill.
So go there and get the clothes.
I don't think they sell officers' uniforms at stores, Doug.
Yeah.
Well, apparently they do if you got it at Goodwill.
Well, I got it. It was outside in a freaking donation box.
It was in a freaking box, Doug. Jeez, Doug, you gotta freaking check the tapes. You can't, if you're not gonna freaking be here, you gotta freaking check the tapes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Either way, all was well that freaking ends well. I still may have a freaking tapeworm in my freaking brain. I haven't been to the doctor to check it out, but Tadia Richer kindly diagnosed me on last week's show and says, yeah, you freaking guessed it, I do have a tapeworm in the brain, and that's why my head has not gotten any freaking bigger, so. Mm-hmm. Last week, famed designer and fashion mogul Gloria Vanderbilt died, according to her son Anderson Cooper and CNN. She was 95. Vanderbilt was born in New York in 1924, but was raised in France for most of her childhood. As the daughter of financier Reginald Vanderbilt, who died when Vanderbilt was a baby, Gloria was the focus of a well-publicized custody battle between her mother and her father's wealthy sister, Gertrude Vanderbilt Whitney. Dubbed the poor little rich girl, Vanderbilt ultimately ended up living with her aunt for her formidable years. Vanderbilt was married and divorced 4 times and went on to be a notable designer who is often credited with the development of the freaking widely popular blue jeans. So this is freaking Anderson freaking Cooper's freaking mother, and geez Louise, down on my knees, she's freaking dead. Sandy the Sandman freaking Farkas, your take on the death and the life of freaking Gloria freaking Vanderbilt.
Well, we gotta be thankful that she freaking went ahead and developed the freaking, as you mentioned, widely popular freaking blue jeans.
Yeah.
I'm a huge, I'm a huge freaking supporter of freaking blue jeans as freaking pants. And she did a great job of freaking Anderson Cooper. He's a freaking very handsome, if I'm thinking of the right guy, very freaking handsome freaking newsboy. Yeah, and all in all, I guess I'm just glad she's freaking gone.
Yeah, rest in peace, Gloria Vanderbilt. You know what's something that's funny that happens to me? I always get freaking Anderson freaking Cooper and freaking Doogie Howser freaking mixed up.
Yeah.
Neil freaking Patrick Harris.
I'm freaking thinking of one of them, but I don't know which one it freaking is. Both freaking handsome, both freaking sexy.
Both as gay as the freaking Dixon.
Yeah.
Gay as the Dickens.
Yeah. You know what else I can't get out of my freaking head? Earlier, Doug freaking admitted to having a man underneath his freaking bed that he pulls out and tortures a little bit. And we just freaking swept that under the freaking rug.
I didn't admit to doing it. I said that I said that you guys freaking pissed me off is what I basically said.
Taylor said you have a man under your freaking bed who you pull out just to torture a little bit and then freaking push him back under the freaking bed.
Honestly, that.
And then I think what you said after that was something like, yeah, that's right, or I don't freaking remember. I'm freaking drunk.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that thought has never crossed my mind. If anything, we should be worried that that's something that popped out of freaking Tadia's mouth.
I would have never said anything that psychotic, Doug.
I mean, by Tadia, I mean freaking Taylor. But also, when I'm talking about psychotic, you freaking peed on a guy that was freaking pooping. So that's pretty psychotic.
Doug, you have a freaking human under your freaking bed. You're a freaking family man, for God's sake, Doug. What happened to the freaking man? Why aren't people freaking looking for this guy? You got him under your freaking bed. You freaking torture him a little bit every night.
I would pee on 100 men before I tortured a little person under my bed, Doug.
I don't have a guy.
He's a freaking little guy. He's a freaking little guy, Doug. He's just a freaking little guy under your freaking bed.
Yeah, I don't have a guy under my freaking bed. I'm not gonna keep freaking talking about this because it's not freaking true. You guys are freaking jerks, and no, I don't have a guy under my bed.
Well, rest in peace, Gloria Vanderbilt.
Yeah, and also if you could bring the box in and get him out, if you could bring the freaking guy in and get him out into the freaking open, and we could do a little freaking interview with him, I think it makes him for some freaking great radio. He could go right back in the freaking box when you're done with him. So, Weakers, Tweakers, Thrill Seekers. Last week, O.J. Simpson officially set up a Twitter account at the real OJ32, according to Yahoo Sports. In his first post, a 22-second video clip with over 2 million views, Simpson stated that he has a little getting even to do with an accompanying tweet that read, "Coming soon." Simpson's first tweet seemed to be in response to the many fake O.J. Simpson Twitter accounts that have existed on the social media platform for years. Simpson has since tweeted against rumors that he is Khloe Kardashian's father, a story we talked about a few weeks ago, saying, "Robert Kardashian was like a brother to me." So O.J. Simpson's got freaking Twitter, and he's got some freaking getting even to do. And geez Louise, down on my knees. I don't know if that means giving back for the murder that he for the life he took, his ex-wife. I don't know if he's going to offer up a waiter of his to get killed or something like that. But Teddy Risher, if you were O.J. Simpson, how would you want to get even? Maybe I should actually position this to Doug Jordan. Doug Jordan, if you were O.J. Simpson and you felt that somebody had wronged you, and you've killed before, how would you want to get freaking even?
Yeah, no, if you're gonna ask, okay, if you're gonna ask that freaking question, maybe you should answer the freaking question because you're the guy that came up with the little man under the bed.
But you're the guy with the little man under the bed.
Yeah,
No, I don't have a little freaking man under my bed. I'm not gonna keep freaking saying that. It's another thing. It's just another layer. First I freaking store my pee in jars, and I I do that, and then next I have freaking sex with farm animals, and then I have freaking herpes, and it's just you're just gonna keep freaking building on this every freaking week, and it's not gonna get me anywhere because no matter what I say, when I say no, I don't do that, no, I don't do those freaking things, you guys are gonna say, hey, Doug, are you kidding me? Yeah, Doug, you I'm pretty sure you do those things. So I'm getting free. I don't even know what to freaking say anymore. So no.
Sandy also had sex with your wife.
No, Sandy had sex with your freaking ex-girlfriend.
No, either way, Tady or Richard, why don't we ask you this question? I didn't know it would be such a freaking sore subject. If you were freaking O.J. Simpson, how would you get even, and who would you be getting even freaking with?
Well, I would probably get right back on the football field, probably with the Buffalo Bills, rush for another 2,000 yards in my career, and then probably kill the guy that's dating my ex-girlfriend.
Great answer.
See, Doug, was that so freaking hard? Was that so hard to just try to imagine what it's like to be another freaking human being?
I don't know what you want me to say. No, I think it's weird. I think it's weird that O.J. Simpson said he was going to get back at whoever the heck he was going to get back at. And, I think it's weird. What are you going to freaking say?
I just hope you put the guy out of his freaking misery at some point.
There's nobody under my freaking bed.
Yeah, well, I mean... you just got to think freaking humanely.
I mean, Doug, you're freaking torturing the guy.
Okay, I'm not torturing the guy, and it was pretty inhumane of you, Taylor, to go into the freaking vet's office and release all the freaking animals, even the ones that didn't want to get out.
Yeah. Well, I thought I was doing the freaking Lord's work. Turned out it was actually a freaking criminal offense, and they're out looking for me. There's pictures of me all freaking over the place. And I'm wearing that freaking officer's uniform, but luckily it's just through the strobing lights they were able to get an image because, like I said, I went at freaking midnight, and the strobing lights of the alarm do not create a freaking flattering image. I don't think it looks anything freaking like me. So... all's well that ends well. Last week, President freaking Donald Trump accused the New York Times of a virtual act of treason in response to the Times report that the U.S. will be ramping up digital attacks on Russia's power grid, according to The Guardian. The newspaper reported that both former and current government officials have confirmed the deployment of U.S. computer code in the Russian electric power grid, an act that could allow the U.S. opportunity to conduct cyber strikes in the event of a conflict with the former Eastern Bloc superpower. Trump clapped back, saying that the reports were untrue, as well as condemning journalists as an enemy of the people. Do you believe the failing New York Times just did a story stating that the United States is substantially increasing cyber attacks on Russia? Trump tweeted, "This is a virtual act of treason by a once great paper so desperate for a story, any story, even if bad for country." So, freaking Donald freaking Trump, angry freaking again, and geez Louise, down on my knees. I don't know why he's freaking denying this. This would be a great freaking idea to get into that freaking power grid. I've been saying it for a freaking long time. I've been saying that we need to start freaking digital. We need to start ramping up our freaking digital attacks on Russia's freaking power grid. And the best way to do that, you freaking guessed it, using a freaking U.S. computer code and infiltrating the freaking and conducting freaking cyber strikes into the freaking electric power grid. And usually by doing the best way to do that is get right into the freaking software. And if you can get once you're in for the freaking software, you guess it, you got a freaking main road right to the freaking mainframe freaking database. You can download all their freaking files immediately so quickly, and then guess what? You get a bunch of freaking hackers, freaking biohackers that is, and they start plugging away, and the next thing you know, they're not even the whole freaking country is freaking falling apart.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite freaking biohacker movies. This is Biohacker 4, Power Grid, and it's a freaking and just when you thought freaking Biohacker was freaking done saving the freaking world from freaking computer problems, guess what? He's freaking back, and this time he's going against freaking Russia.
Yeah.
And guess who freaking shows up? Yep. Dunkirk.
Yeah, Dunkirk's back. And guess who's got a freaking a flying freaking motorcycle again? Yep, you guessed it, freaking biohacker. Absolutely freaking hilarious.
And guess who's back? Also, yep, you guessed it, freaking Mr. Chips, and he is just as freaking horny as you freaking remember. And he is just about the horniest freaking robot you'll ever freaking meet.
Yeah, for Uyghurs and Tweakers out there who don't remember who Mr. Chips was, Mr. Chips was a freaking robot, the horniest freaking robot that ever called into our Week in Review. Doug Jordan?
Yeah, Doug.
Yeah, I remember Mr. Chips.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, he was funny.
Yeah.
Very funny robot. What Biohacker is? Can we say that the hack is back for Biohacker 4? Would that be a tagline?
That's the freaking tagline of the second freaking Biohacker.
Yeah.
You freaking dumb piece of Doug.
Yeah. Well,
I couldn't remember if we used that one yet.
yeah.
You got to check the tapes before you talk.
Because I wrote the synopsis for the third one. The third one was my movie.
Yeah, that was the worst one.
We all took turns writing freaking screenplays, and you handed in a freaking synopsis, so that was freaking great.
Yeah, but it was good. It was gonna be a good one.
I remember not enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you no matter what I freaking do, you're not gonna like what I do. So what does it matter?
I think you're a freaking great harmonica player.
I bet you if I went to freaking Hollywood with the synopsis for Biohacker 3, the hack is back again, they would freaking greenlight it, and they would be like, I'll be like, what about 1 and 2? And they'll be like, oh, we don't care about those stupid movies. Biohacker 3 is freaking way better.
And in Biohacker 3, Doug Jordan plays a guy named Fishman, a fish salesman, but with freaking no freaking superpowers. Basically, can't help a freaking thing. He just drives around freaking wholesaling fish to restaurants and freaking other fish suppliers. And geez Louise, down on my knees, the most boring freaking movie I've ever seen until he has sex with a farm animal at the end. Then it's freaking hilarious. Last week, the FDA was prompted to release a warning against fecal transplants after 2 patients became severely ill, one of which died as a result of the procedure, according to Fox News. The warning posted to the administration's website stated that the procedure carried a potential risk of serious infections. According to the warning, the 2 patients who became ill contracted E. coli after receiving fecal donations from the same freaking donor. So, this is crazy. This is a freaking article that's saying, basically, by Fox News, which is known to be freaking fake sometimes, Fox News is saying that it's dangerous to have your freaking intestines cut open and have somebody else's poop put inside of you. That's just the craziest freaking thing I ever heard in my freaking life. If that is freaking dangerous, geez Louise, I should be freaking dead.
But you've done that?
Yeah, but he's freaking eating poop.
Oh yeah.
Hasn't surgically had it put inside of him.
Yeah, I mean, I've never gone under the knife. Not.
I'm just confused. What in the hell is a freaking fecal donation? Why are you donating? Why are you donating freaking feces?
Yeah, Doug Jordan, help us unpack this. You have a little man living underneath your bed, and also you know quite a bit about medical procedures, seeing as you are freaking Doug knows best. So why do people get fecal transplants, and why would someone give a fecal donation?
Let me just say this. I don't have a little man living under my bed, but fecal transplant happens when somebody can't make good bacteria in their body, so you can't freaking poop. So they'll take good poop from somebody else and put it in them to promote growth of new good bacteria in your body, to break down your food.
So Doug, what I'm hearing is that instead of just cutting open the person and taking the freaking poop out, that they're having a trouble pooping, what they do is they cut the person open and they put more freaking poop inside of them.
Well, they don't have poop in them. That's the whole point. They're not freaking. They're not being able to digest the food, the poop.
So they need to have some more poop in them to be able to poop more. So it's a catch-20 freaking 2. See, this is the problem with freaking medical America right now. And I'm gonna unpack this for people because Doug Jordan failed to do it. What they're saying is, yes, this person cannot freaking poop because they don't have any freaking poop in them. So every time they want to poop, they got to cut them freaking open, put poop inside them, and then they go, see, we fixed you, you're freaking pooping again. And they don't realize that they're just freaking pooping out the poop that they got freaking put inside of them.
It's just the same poop. It's just the poop that you put inside of them. Obviously, if you put poop inside somebody, they're gonna freaking poop it out. That's just freaking the science of it all. And you don't need to be a freaking rocket freaking pilot to freaking understand that. Mm-hmm. Doug.
Now, Tadia freaking Richer, as someone who is experienced, as am I, with freaking pooping on things you shouldn't, and pooping, and who is planning to poop on somebody. Are you at all concerned with the potential risk of serious infection after perhaps pooping on freaking Keith, the freaking homeless man who lives at freaking the YMCA?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's the first thing you think of is that your poop could spread an infectious disease to someone else, which is exactly why I do plan on pooping on Keith. I'm hoping to give him infectious disease, which reminds me, if any listeners are interested, I am accepting fecal donations at the YMCA for a little prank I got cooking up.
You heard it first, folks. Weakers, tweakers, thrill seekers. And I can't tell you to send your poop into the YMCA, but if you do, good for freaking you. Last week, Jennifer Aniston called out former husband Brad Pitt for what she described as a tremendously insensitive decision after the couple's divorce, according to The Mirror. The former Friends star's main beef was with the photo spread Pitt did with Angelina Jolie in W magazine following the finalization of their divorce. According to Vanity Fair, Pitt organized the feature and held the international rights to the photos, ensuring that he would see the profits from their distribution. So, is this just another tale of a woman freaking scorned, and she's mad that he's getting freaking pictures for him and Angelina Jolie parading around in freaking the defunct freaking W magazine, which I don't even think is a real magazine anymore. I don't know if any Weakers and Tweakers, maybe Taylor Reacher can freaking fact check that. But geez Louise, down on my knees. Is she just mad that he's making money off of this, or that he's getting hot and with his freaking with Angelina Jolie right after the freaking divorce? Saying to the same man, Farkas.
Yeah, you pretty much left nothing to freaking talk about by your little summary right there. So I don't freaking know. You're making me feel like a real freaking Doug Jordan right now. I don't know what to freaking tell you. I do know that freaking both women are freaking incredibly sexy, and I would freaking make love to freaking either of them, both of them.
Yeah, let's do a quick roundtable discussion. And it's gonna this is a little game. We're gonna call it what's her name? It's either Jolie or freaking Jennifer or Jolie. Doug Jordan, why don't we start with you? Who would you do, Jennifer or Jolie? Joey.
I don't know either of them.
Which one? Just which would you do? Would it be Jolie or Joey?
Jennifer Aniston.
Because she could get you closer to freaking Joey from Friends.
No,
and then you could do him.
No, that has nothing to freaking do with it.
Joey freaking Tribbiani.
Yeah.
Doug, who are you more of a? Who do you like more, freaking Joey or Chandler? Or maybe even freaking like Ross.
Okay, is that even a freaking question? Obviously, Joey is the freaking funniest.
Yeah, but Chandler's sarcastic like you. For instance, you remind me a lot of Chandler when you go, "No, I don't have a freaking guy hidden under my bed." And I go, "Oh, he's doing Chandler right now."
That's such a Chandler thing to say.
When has Chandler ever freaking said that?
Could I freaking have any more herpes?
Yeah. Is there not a guy underneath my bed?
Okay, there's no guy under my bed, and Sandy is the one that has freaking herpes.
He's doing it right now.
But in that statement, he's 100% correct. I do have freaking herpes.
Well, he did it with the first part. So, Doug Jordan says Jennifer Aniston so he can get close to Joey. Freaking Taylor Reacher, which one would you do? Jen or Jolie?
I'm gonna also go with Jen because she's just she's great.
It's a good freaking answer. And Sandy the Sandman Farkas, why don't you go ahead? Jen or Jolie?
At this point in my freaking life, I'll take freaking anything. I'll take anything a little bit taller than a freaking and with that being said, if I had a freaking gun to my head and somebody said you gotta freaking have sex with one of these or we're gonna freaking kill you, I'd probably put it. Boy, this is a freaking good one. This is a freaking good question. I'd probably go ahead and freaking have sex with. Well, you gotta freaking come back to me.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say freaking Jolie because Jeez Louise down on my knees, she looks freaking mean as heck. She looks like, first of all, she got a ton of freaking kids, so she knows how to change a freaking diaper or two. Second of all, she knows how to freaking spank. She knows how to, Jeez Louise down on my knees, put me down on my freaking knees. And she knows how to make, she knows basically how to put, all about freaking punishment. She knows about freaking medications. She knows about doctor's appointments. She knows about how to freaking drive probably has a minivan because she got all those freaking kids, so she could take me to and from the freaking radio station. So I would definitely pick freaking Angelina, freaking Jolie, Jeez Louise down on my knees, hands freaking down.
Yeah, I'm thinking. No, yeah, maybe. Well, I'm having a freaking hard time. I'm freaking having a hard freaking time with this. You gotta understand. I'm freaking having sex with a freaking. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they're both one. Aniston is 5'5" and Jolie is 5'7", according to Google.com.
So maybe
Let's do Jolie.
Okay, so overcompensate for the height difference.
For the
Yeah. Tiny little freaking. Last week, a man was found guilty of pleasuring himself on a United Airlines flight while his wife watched, according to Fox News. After being observed by a fellow passenger, Enrique Gonzalez of Rancho Cocamingo, California, was arrested upon landing in San Antonio. According to the witness, the criminal conduct began when the cabin lights were dimmed and continued for approximately 30 minutes, during which Gonzalez met the witness's eye and continued his conduct, the FBI Special Agent Gregory Pratt said in an affidavit. Gonzalez's wife admitted to knowledge of her husband's actions and told police that she played with it as well. So this is just basically Doug Jordan and Sunjay's situation, much like the one that they were in while traveling to and from the supposed Italian trip, the Italian freaking job they went on. Doug Jordan, you know most about playing with yourself up in the air, 30,000 feet into the air on commercial airliners. What did this guy do wrong, and what could he do better next time?
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. I don't know what you want me to say. Well, why don't you? It seems like you know about the story, so why don't you tell it how you can tell it? What's your answer to that?
I just read the whole freaking story.
Yeah, well, you already did that.
Beginning to the freaking end.
You did that already once, where you just read the story and then you read it again and you said it. So why don't you just do it again?
Do you want me to freaking tell you what's really going on here?
Yeah, what's really going on here?
Guy's freaking off on the freaking airplane. His freaking wife's playing with it. And then he's staring over at a lady in freaking white gloves, making eye contact with her and continuing on. His wife's watching. She knows that she's freaking staring at him, so she gets freaking jealous. The white glove lady and the wife start freaking fighting. Next thing you know, a guy pops out of the freaking bathroom. He made it freaking stinky in there. The guy starts going even freaking faster and faster. He's rubbing the freaking thing raw. Then the freaking stewardess, she comes down with the freaking cart, and she's asking anybody if they want a freaking diet soda, and he's freaking making eye contact with her while he's freaking rubbing it out. And then the freaking wife and the freaking white lady glove are fighting. They're getting in the freaking toilet water. The guy's making a stink in the freaking aisle. And Jeez Louise down on my knees. It's just the most freaking hilarious thing. You ever seen the freaking movie Airplane?
No, I've never
seen it. It's kind of like that, except with a lot more freaking sex and a lot more freaking hand jockey.
Well, first of all, that sounds like a hot freaking porno.
Yeah.
I would 100% buy it. Doug, I was curious, though, just because this, and I hate to go off topic again, but when you did go on your sexcapade with Sanjay, what did the guy under the bed do? Did you leave him food or?
Yeah, it wasn't a sexcapade, and there's no guy under my bed. So, and I'm really getting tired of this.
Doug, does your wife know that there is a little tiny guy living underneath your freaking bed? And does she feed him when you are out of town?
Yeah, but when you're out of town, is she doing the she carrying out the freaking tortures on this guy, or you just give him a little break when you got out of town?
Have you taught your son how to torture the little man?
No, because there's no little man under my bed.
Okay, so Doug, final question. Do you take this guy out for any yard time? Is he like a normal prisoner, or does he just...
Yeah, that's a good question. I'd also like to ask, where'd you even freaking get this guy?
I don't know.
Where'd you find the guy?
I don't know.
How did you freaking kidnap the freaking man in the beginning?
No matter what I say, when I say I don't have a freaking guy under my bed, you're going to just keep coming up with some bull about how there's a freaking guy under my bed. So why don't you guys just take it away? You know, I'm just sick. I'm just freaking sick of doing this.
Okay, I'll type something up, and if you sign something saying that you do, in fact, have a man underneath your bed, then we'll just freaking drop it.
But I don't have a man. You honestly, you've been under my freaking bed before. when you typed up a contract and you made me sign it in my freaking sleep. So you would know if there was actually you were the man under the bed, but a man that I wasn't freaking torturing, just a man laying under my freaking bed.
And
wait. So, okay.
when I had the freaking chance to let the poor guy out of the freaking box, I should have let him out.
There was no guy in a freaking box under my bed.
So at one point, you had two people under your bed. One that you freaking don't torture, and one that you freaking do.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm so freaking lucky. And for Weakers and Tweakers out there, you don't know how it feels like to know that how close you came to being in the grips of a freaking Sado freaking masochist. I didn't know I was playing with fire, and I almost got freaking burned.
Wow.
Yeah. Last week,
this is all freaking coming out on the freaking radio.
Yeah. That's a good point. Last week, in anticipation of the latest installment of Netflix... Oh, this is a Doug Jordan sports desk right away. Last week, in anticipation of the latest installment of Netflix Stranger Things, Burger King has announced it will be serving the upside-down Whopper in participating U.S. locations, according to The Takeout. The upside-down Whopper will feature all the key ingredients that make up the classic fast food sandwich, but served with a twist. The burger will be assembled upside down to homage the evil dimension that plagues the Stranger Things town. So that means the freaking lettuce is upside down. The freaking cheese is upside down. The freaking red onion is freaking upside down, along with the freaking sliced tomato. That's all upside down. It's put on a freaking burger that is made especially to be served freaking upside down, with the bottom sitting up.
The ketchup is freaking upside down. The freaking mustard, freaking upside down.
And if you want freaking mayonnaise
the
on
pickles.
Yeah, the pickles.
The mayo is freaking upside
cheese.
down. The freaking pickles. The cheese. Yeah, the cheese is upside down.
Even the freaking seeds. The seeds are upside down.
Yeah, the seeds are upside down.
Yeah, the freaking sesame seeds. Doug Jordan, what is this going to do to the burger? And should we be worried about things changing? How different is this upside down burger going to be?
It's just going to be a burger, but it's going to be upside down.
So it's going to be completely different.
No, I mean, probably the first thing I would do when I opened it would just flip it over and eat it like a regular burger.
What are you freaking talking about?
They're putting the top bun on the bottom bun. They're putting all the toppings upside down. So they're flipping over the freaking burger and they're putting it in the freaking carton.
Sandy, can you help us? Can you help break down what Doug Jordan's trying to tell me about this freaking burger here?
This is a classic freaking Doug Jordan freaking losing his freaking mind. What he's trying to say is that the freaking burger is just upside down and you can flip it up right side. And what he doesn't understand is that the freaking burger is upside down. The whole freaking thing. We're saying the freaking ketchup is upside down. The freaking mustard is freaking upside down. The freaking cheese is upside down. The freaking bun, even the freaking sesame seeds are freaking upside down. The freaking red onion is freaking upside down. The freaking pickles.
Yeah.
Excuse me. The freaking lettuce is upside down. The burger itself is freaking upside down. The whole thing is upside down, and the patty itself is freaking upside down.
It's basically a bizarro freaking burger. It's the most bizarre. Yeah, it's the most bizarre thing anybody's ever had.
It's the craziest. Honestly, it's the craziest freaking thing that freaking Burger King's ever freaking done.
Yeah.
Burger King, right?
Yeah, this is Burger King. Tadia Risher, what do you imagine it tasting like in terms of its taste? Does it taste upside down or?
Yeah, well, the thing you got to remember is that everything in this burger is upside down. I mean, we're talking. The pickles are upside down. The red onion. So no, I don't. This burger, honestly, it sounds f***ing disgusting to me. I wouldn't touch this burger with a 10-foot pole. Burger King should be ashamed of themselves, and they've just lost a customer.
Yeah. I don't blame you, and I don't think anybody else in the room, especially Doug Jordan, would blame you, as he does know best about fast food and fast food accessories. Geez Louise, do you think, Doug Jordan, would this fly in Italy at the Burger King in Italy?
No, they probably wouldn't do that there.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, it's just you could just take it. You can go to Burger King right now and order a freaking Whopper, and then flip it upside down, and you got what they're selling you.
No. They haven't rolled out the sandwich yet. It's coming next month with the new season of Stranger Things, which starts on July 4th.
Doug, do you see yourself freaking purchasing this freaking revolutionary freaking burger? Or?
No, I'm not gonna buy it. Maybe I'll try it, but I mean, again, I'm just gonna flip it right side up as soon as I open it up.
I guarantee you, it's gonna be the opposite of anything you've ever had, and it's gonna be the absolute opposite of anything that you ever expected a burger to taste like. So,
Doug, should Kevin Durant have played in Game 5?
Well, he hurt himself, so probably not. Right?
What about Game 6?
Hey, what about Game 6?
I think Game 6. There is no Game 6, right?
No, there was a Game 6.
No, there was a Game 6. Great sports desk segment, Doug.
Yeah, they won 4-2. The dinosaurs. Last week, a gym in Connecticut has been the center of a body-shaming scandal after a promotional email was sent out to former customers urging them to pinch and grab any excess fat in an attempt to motivate people to return to their summer swim program, according to Fox News. Maura Renka blasted Anytime Fitness via Twitter after being horrified by the suggestive email. In response, the national gym franchise had said that it is appalled by the message that an Anytime Fitness franchisee sent. So this is a story about a big fat person named Maura freaking Rinke, and Maura Rinke, geez Louise, down on my knees, she doesn't want to be, she doesn't even want to acknowledge her own freaking fatness, and geez Louise, down on my knees, she's probably embarrassed thinking that if she gets into that freaking pool, yep, you guess her, she's going to look like a freaking manatee swimming around. Doug Jordan?
No, I don't think it's right for them to use words like grab and excess and pinch when you're talking about people that have weight issues. I think that probably make them a little feel a little ostracized for being the way that they are. So I don't think it's a very nice thing to do.
I mean, I see your freaking point, and I would never make fun of somebody who's overweight, and I never have, and I never freaking will. And
that's not true.
What are you talking about?
You every week you talk about Jonah Hill and how fat he is, even though he's not even freaking fat.
Oh my God! Imagine pinching the fat of Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
Break your freaking fingers.
Well, you're not pinching the fat of Jonah Hill because there's nothing else to freaking grab. He's literally all fat. If I were to draw a picture of Jonah Hill, it would just be one circle with feet and hands. And then eyeballs and obviously a mouth because he's got to get the food in there somehow. And obviously a butthole to get the poop out somehow. Sandy?
If you asked me to draw if you asked me to draw a freaking picture of Jonah Hill and you gave me a piece of paper, I'd just freaking hand the piece of paper right back to you. One freaking blob. That's it. You can't tell freaking nor hide nor hair. You can't tell what's top and what's bottom. It's just a freaking giant blob.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say
a hole for the freaking poop to come out of.
Right.
For food.
Yeah. I would say if somebody said, draw me a picture, now that I'm thinking about it, if somebody said, draw me a freaking picture of Jonah Hill, I would say, there isn't enough freaking paper in the world.
Yeah, why don't I go ahead and freaking chop down the whole freaking rainforest so I can get it, just so I can even try to get enough freaking paper to draw this freaking guy.
Yeah. Hands across America, I can't freaking do it.
Doug, what were you saying?
What do you want?
You were saying something. What were you saying?
Jonah Hill's not freaking fat.
Well, okay, so if they told Jonah Hill to get in the freaking swimming pool, there would be no water left in it.
If someone told me to draw a picture of Jonah Hill, I'd probably just hand him a diagram of the Milky Way galaxy.
Yeah.
If Jonah Hill got into that freaking pool, he'd die because he'd never freaking get out.
Yeah.
And he'd freaking break it, too. You better, because that thing will never get out of that freaking thing.
Yeah, better get him a giant freaking pillow because he's not going anywhere.
Jonah Hill, to freaking Jonah Hill, the freaking ocean is a freaking pool because it's the only thing that you can freaking swim in.
Now, my question, and this is something serious, and I know Doug Jordan is getting a little upset here because he loves freaking Jonah Hill's fat body so much. Where does Jonah Hill go to the bathroom? And what type of machine is equipped to? I mean, it must be some sort of turbine that chops up, churns and chops up the waste that comes out of basically out of his rear freaking end.
I think you're right. I think it's got to be a turbine.
Some sort of large turbine. I mean, that's why he doesn't travel. That's why he only stays in freaking Hollywood, because he's got his bathroom, custom-made bathroom.
With the turbine.
With the turbine freaking motor for freaking chopping up his fecal donation.
And I have actually heard that the freaking toilet motor was actually built out of an old freaking aircraft carrier engine. So
yeah, still thing still freaking runs on freaking diesel too.
Yeah.
And then they drop it off in the Pacific Ocean, and they're combining all of that waste, and millionaires can go ahead and buy their own island. They think it's made of sand. It's actually just Jonah Hill's freaking poop.
Yeah, freaking fecal donation.
Yeah. Well, Jonah Hill, you are a true resource for this country. Not in the way that you'd like to be, but in the way that you can't avoid but being so. Last week, during an interview with President Donald Trump, George Stephanopoulos of ABC News raised the issue of reported sightings of UFOs by Navy pilots, according to Fox News. Trump claimed that he had briefed on the subject, but confirmed that he remained skeptical of the existence of UFOs. I want them to think whatever they think, Trump replied, referring to the Navy pilots. I did have one very brief meeting on it, but people are saying they're seeing UFOs. Do I believe it? Not particularly. The Navy recently announced that it has updated its guidelines for reporting unidentified aircraft objects in response to unusual sightings. According to the New York Times, Navy strike groups have reported seeing objects flying above 30,000 feet at hypersonic speeds without infrared exhaust fumes or visible engines. So freaking President Trump doesn't believe there's freaking UFOs going around. I gotta freaking agree with him. So, and that's one of the few things we freaking agree on. And because it's certainly not the freaking economy. Because I don't know that much about freaking economy. Doug Jordan, go ahead. Was the president right on this one, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, no, I don't think he's right. I mean, if the Navy pilots said that they saw freaking UFOs, they probably saw freaking UFOs, and it's probably real. So
this has been the second time that you have announced this sentiment that you believe in freaking UFOs and you believe in aliens.
Yeah, they're probably freaking real.
Is that why? I don't even want to ask it. So something that aliens are known for doing, if they do exist, they like to capture people and then run experiments on them while they're in their captivity to figure out what's going on with them. And I'm just wondering if there's a connection between your belief that they exist and what is going on with you at home.
Doug, if you haven't figured it out, Doug, he's talking about the little man that you kept in a box.
Yeah, but first of all, there's no little man in a box, and if there was, what about what's the connection?
He's under the bed. He's not, or I guess maybe he's in a box under the bed.
Yeah, he's in a box under the bed.
He's asking if you probe the little man in the box under the bed.
Like, are you trying to figure out? Are you doing experiments on this guy? Yeah.
No, because there's no fucking man under the fucking bed, and I'm not going to say it again.
Okay, so if you do believe in freaking alien UFOs flying around, what are they freaking doing, and why are they doing it? If it's not to freaking torture and experiment the way that you do with the little man under the bed, what are they doing?
I don't know, doing their own thing.
Flying around?
Being aliens.
Flying around saucers? I thought this was going to be a big hit, this story.
Well, what about it was going to be a hit? That you were going to just ask me questions about things I freaking believe in, and then take whatever I freaking say and skew it into whatever way you want to put it, and be like, oh no, Doug fucking aliens. Is that what you're going to do? Because, I mean, if that was the whole reason why you wrote the fucking story, then maybe you shouldn't have fucking wrote it.
Well, Doug, you're the one who brought up aliens, so I think you just kind of, I can't believe this is all coming out on the radio right now.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I never even occurred to me that you would alien. Last week, CNN reported on the difficulties a white Western Ohio woman has when telling people her name. 28-year-old Lakeisha Francis says she struggles with her African-American sounding name on a daily basis. Francis says she runs into issues while explaining her name to both black and white people. Black people often think she's making a bad joke, while white people often question what her parents' motivations were in giving her birth name. Francis says that her name also has resulted in a degree of acceptance from African Americans whom she may have otherwise never freaking known. So, Lakeisha Francis,
this is a freaking non-story.
Yeah.
Not freaking about anything. What this is basically when you unpack this freaking story, it's a story about a girl who doesn't like her freaking name.
Yeah, that's a good freaking point.
Where did you even freaking find this? Why is freaking CNN? Where did you even freaking find? Where did you
Yeah,
Where did you find this freaking story?
This was CNN Online. So they were just talking about Lakeisha freaking Francis. She's a white girl from a small little town in Ohio with about 300 people in it, and her parents chose a name because they couldn't agree on a name. So then they picked that one. They both agreed. I guess it's freaking hilarious. I didn't really find it funny at all.
It's a great prank by her parents.
Yeah.
This is the freaking story that you chose to freaking end the freaking show with.
It really looked like a freaking hilarious freaking story at first, and then by the time I got to the end of it, it's really a non-freaking story. There's not a whole lot.
It's not freaking about anything.
Yeah. All right, Weakers, Tweakers, Thrill Seekers, this has been another episode of Our Week in Review. But before we go, why don't we go back and revisit some of the highlights of today's freaking episode. Let's see. Tadia freaking Risher is going to plan a freaking poop on somebody. I am still working on getting my freaking Donovan cat back. Sandy the Sandman freaking Farkas, he is breaking up. He has yet to break up with his girlfriend because of his freaking drunk roommate, Dave. And last but not least, what was the thing that we got to Doug Jordan about? He got a new job as a freaking seafood distributor. And anybody else want to say anything else about Doug Jordan?
Don't you dare.
He's got a little guy living underneath his bed. He pulls out, freaking tortures a bit, and then puts it back under the bed. For me, that was the big one.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that really stuck out to me in this episode, I think.
Certainly a highlight.
Yeah. Weakers, Tweakers, Thrill Seekers. Doug, anything you want to say about your favorite part of the show?
Yeah, I'm not coming back next week.
All right. Weakers, Tweakers, Thrill Seekers, thank you so much for listening. We love you very, very, very freaking much. You can find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, freaking Google Play, Spotify, and freaking YouTube. And we will looking forward to see you freaking next week. Okay, Doug. I know you're not coming back next week, as you say, but you said it before, and I just want to know, what is the freaking man's name?
There's no man under the bed of my house. I'm not gonna keep saying it.
Just give me the man's name.
No, I'm freaking sick. What do you want from me? What do you get out of this?
How tall is this guy that he fits under your bed?
What do all three of you have freaking against me? Why? Because I freaking helped you all out at different points of your life that you think you can invite me here and make me seem like a freaking idiot?
You freaking punched me in the face.
Yeah, but then I loaned you freaking money, so you...
Speaking of which, you owe me, like, thousands of dollars, Doug.
I don't owe you shit. I owe you a freaking punch in the face the next time I freaking see you.
Come get it, bitch.